Hi guys, welcome to our channel. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Over 25. Today's episode is brought to you by Drink IQ, which is Diageo. If you guys have been watching our videos, we've had this partnership with them for some time now. And today's episode is basically, we're doing this as a demonstration of responsible drinking. We've talked about Drink IQ, which is the website / platform / resource where you can go to and get all the information you need about responsible drinking. There's a Drink IQ quiz there that we ask everybody to take. We still encourage you guys to take it. Please follow the link in the description box of this video so that you can know what is your Drink IQ on a score of 1 to 10. And in the spirit of Drink IQ,
the irony, in the spirit.
Anyway,
Actually, maybe it's not ironic. Maybe it's very fitting.
Actually,
yes.
In the spirit of drinking responsibly and Drink IQ, we are here to demonstrate drinking responsibly. As you can see, we have our regular drinks, which we usually have. But this time, other than people having just water on the side here at the corner, we've made sure everybody has a glass of water, or for me, which I just have my bottle, which I carry around. And now we are walking the walk. The talk. We're walking the walk.
Walking the talk.
Oh, we're walking the talk?
Yeah.
Okay.
You better,
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk.
Walk the talk. But we're sitting. Yeah. So guys, of course the idea is just to encourage you people, especially, you know, when you're at home enjoying your drink, to remember to drink responsibly and to hydrate. A lot of times we know that we drink, and then when we start feeling like, oh my gosh, I think I'm getting a bit too intoxicated, then you drink water. No, hydrate throughout. I know for myself, I'm trying to challenge myself to do that and make it like a part of my drinking habits and drinking culture. So thanks Drink IQ guys. Please remember to go to the link in this video or in this description box of this video so that you can take the Drink IQ test. On to today's video. What are we talking about?
Jules?
Yes.
And even, I think having the water like this, you see that we're drinking like this.
Yeah.
I think this is a good way of doing it. Instead of saying, I'll get water after this drink.
Thank you. So by the way, actually go and get the water.
Sit with it.
There's many ways of drinking responsibly, but water is the main one, hydrating, because alcohol does dehydrate you. You know, so that's the whole point of enjoying responsibly. Thanks for pointing that out. So today's conversation was inspired, or actually suggested, by one of our followers. Should I say her name? I think it's okay. Her username is Puchi_Gachie. This is a recommendation she gave to us some time back to discuss something around careers, and we thought it's such a fitting thing to do when we're discussing Drink IQ, because we're also like pushing the agenda of responsible decision making, right? And the conversation today is difficulties we might have gone through us now when starting our careers after campus. And just looking back, this is a conversation I think that needs to be had, and not only in one sitting. I feel like this is a conversation can be had 5, 6, 7 times in 1 year, even in your own individual channels, because everyone has such different experiences, because everyone has different exposures to different people, different career choices, you know what I mean? So basically, difficulties you might have gone through when starting our careers. By the way, thanks Puchi Gashia.
Thank you, Puchi. I love your name.
And by the way, also in the spirit of Puchi Gashie, even you guys, if you have things that you want us to talk about, please leave them in the comment section. We might not get back to them today, but we are aware and we take note. So actually Puchi's was something that was suggested last year, and you know, today's when we're like, this is the most fitting time to talk about this. So I think everyone had their own like different experiences, and I'll let somebody else start since I've been talking for the first 15 minutes of the video. Difficulties we might have gone through when starting our careers. Lorna, start us off.
I'll start. I think my major point that I'm going to start with is tarmacking. No one psychologically prepares you for how agonizing tarmacking can get. No one tells you that you could be tarmacking for up to 6 years and not get a job. No one tells you that you could go on your tarmacking errands and be spoken to very rudely wherever you're going to look for a job. No one tells you that tarmacking actually means you know, maram, kushika maram, kutembea, like on tarmac, like it's a literal, like it's from that word, which means just walking, looking for work. There are times you actually have to walk. Like you find yourself going to up to, I'm sure that people who've gone to 5 to 10 offices a day or in a week looking for work, and you don't get work. And with that comes, you know, what's the imposter syndrome of, okay, kwani the education that I got, how come I'm not getting work? Especially right now, people are super struggling because there's a lot of people who finish school, there are no jobs to be found anywhere, and it's been made worse by the pandemic. So I just feel like there should be a course that's thrown in there, like to prepare you mentally for life outside school, life outside university. Like mentally, you might really struggle or not, you know, this is how you behave when this happens to you, this is how you should react when you get a letter of not acceptance, rejection or an acceptance letter, how, you know, you should respond even when you get your first job. I don't think I was ever taught any of those things. I learned on the job rather, while looking for the job. So I think it would be important for someone to say something about that.
Yeah, I think I can even to add on to what Lornzie is saying. As you're looking for the job, fine. Maybe you land yourself an interview. That for me, that was another area that I struggled in the beginning.
Yes.
Right now, we know how to prepare for interviews. We know how much research you need to do, what kind of research you need to do. I can tell you very quickly 2 experiences that I had when I was looking for my internship. One of them, because the person that was interviewing me is somebody who, not the person who was interviewing me, the owner of the company I went to interview at is someone known to my family. So later on, I was told that I didn't get the job because I didn't come for the interview like in a full suit, like in a suit. So the lady who interviewed me didn't like the way I was dressed. I was just wearing a sleeveless top and some official pants. And she said that I didn't look serious enough. Okay? So that was one experience. Then my second interview was so it was so relaxed, it was not formal, it was the complete opposite of that, and that's the job I got. So for me, I found it very confusing.
Uliva suti for the second
one?
The
second one, no, but I wore a shirt and then an official pants. This time I had a shirt. But this other one was so easy. Like I was even being asked, what are your interests? What are your likes? The other one was very formal. How do you do this? How do you do that? I was not prepared. So even the interview process, you need to be prepared. And you get to learn as you interview. Again, learning on the job. But in the beginning, there should be a course.
There should definitely be something. Because even in the UK, let me just add on to that interview bit. Because my experience in Kenya is that, in general, people don't prepare for it. Okay, the level of preparation I did there, because I was looking for because I had 2 different jobs. I had to interview for both jobs. And then I was still looking for a job because I was trying to get like a permanent citizenship situation where I can stay after or get a work permit. And I just remember thinking, I feel like I'm 18 and I was already well into my 20s. You know, I was like in 25, 26. Like, because the level of preparation you need on that end, I mean, I'd never experienced anything like that. You know, like I was like preparing for an exam. And here in Kenya, in the jobs I have done, the interviews haven't been as intense. When I came back, and the interview I did for the job I got, the first job I got when I came back, I remember going like, you've got to be kidding. Because I had prepared and prepared. The interviews here are not, even for the big companies that I've worked for in the past, I don't think they were still as grueling as then. There's things there's things I didn't know you should know. You know, like questions, how to answer certain questions. Like I didn't know so many things, by the way. So I just had to check the internet and talk to my friends in London who are in my age, also looking for jobs, because I could see they were more prepared than I was. So I think it's a culture thing, because even some of the jobs I've done here, the interviews are very relaxed.
They're very relaxed. It's just it's just a conversation. It's like you're getting to know each other.
Which can be a good thing, but I think it's you know, if you're trying to grow, let's say you go and work abroad, I don't know.
And going from that to a grueling one that is there are 3 stages of interviewing. It's difficult.
Do you think it might have something to do with our line of work? Because I'm feeling like if I was doing actual science, or I'm looking for a job at one of the you know,
It
Deloitte,
does, yeah.
my interview would totally be, of course,
It
different
would be a different
than me
experience.
looking for a marketing job or a marketing position in
At an
at an agency.
So
Yeah.
for me, I was looking for marketing jobs there.
It was still
It was still very
Wow.
rolling.
Okay.
The job I was looking for to stay, those were marketing jobs. I went, the biggest interview I went was this company called, I think it was called Experian, and I had to travel so far to go for that interview. But here in Nairobi, I think what you're, I mean, this I'm going to say, because I'm in marketing and my brother is in finance. And I know when he started, because he's an engineer, but when he's now moving into finance, the way he chopped for this interview, he was reading actual like studies, because they have to do case studies. So I think also your industry depends on it. So as our experience, honestly, I think we should also just say this. Our experience is from marketing, but we also have different experiences. Because our background is all in marketing. Ivy?
Oh wow, I've really
absorbed.
I've absorbed.
You are in
I'm
the story.
listening, and before I give my feedback, I wanted to ask, or maybe even we can tell the people on YouTube, what were our first jobs after campus? Because I'm trying to connect to see what was your. I'm like, what did we do?
okay.
Okay. So that I can, I'm trying to connect. The interview was not good. I'm trying to figure out what were we doing.
My first job was I was an intern at Samsung.
Oh, I remember.
I was, and then I became a marketing assistant. I was promoted.
Wow.
Yeah, marketing job.
I used to get free phones. That's what was
quite
fun.
prestigious back then.
Yeah, I gifted Shiva a phone. I gifted Ivy a phone.
That's why she was like, she's the one.
Like, pair one. Have something nice.
You get a phone.
You get a phone.
That job was nice.
I remember I think the phone
How
I
old
gave
were
was
you?
yellow. It was like a yellow phone.
Yes.
I think I was 21.
Okay.
Yeah, I was 21.
Lornzie?
For me, okay, I worked at my mom's place. She has her hardware store, so I used to work with her there. And that's where I learned a lot, by the way, over there.
Oh, wow.
But my first real job was as a telemarketer for the business side of the Korean embassy.
Yes, I remember.
Oh,
wow,
in town.
Yeah.
At Kirubi's
Interesting.
building.
Yeah.
International
House.
house.
It was
Yeah.
an international house.
Wow.
I worked in campus. So
Yeah.
during campus, I know my allowance came from me going to be an admin, the receptionist at my mom's school. And then I worked at GTV also as a telemarketer.
Oh my gosh, I remember GTV when I was
balling. I had some money and I was 19. I had too much money.
And no responsibilities.
And no responsibilities.
Well, how come you never told us to find work?
Oh, babe, okay.
I
I don't
wish
know. I don't know if you guys
someone
wanted.
told me.
We were too deep.
Me,
in
I
fun.
know. I remember thinking that ain't gonna be me.
Yeah.
I'm in uni. I'm like, even when you two used to do a lot
Those
of
hassles.
What are those things?
Those
brand
ambassadors.
Actually, I'm going to be at BA. Yeah, at
Kathy,
Kathy. The three of
yeah.
you guys go and do BA at
On
your
Saturday.
ushering.
Yeah.
You've dressed nicely to go and usher to get 2K. I used to be like,
Imagine. We never even used to make you told me that 2K.
I know, you got to wonders. Finish.
To buy the first
And I remember just thinking, how comes I'm not like motivated enough to do? Then I was like, it's not.
Yeah.
Then also I was thinking maybe it's just like a light skin thing. When you told me actually you have to be, you go
I
and
used to look for two
there's
chicks.
something you
Yeah.
guys said and I was like, nah.
for me.
But I also the struggle. I was just
Yeah.
like, imagine it's not worth it.
was hard.
It's not worth
Yeah.
it. I'll sell airtime. I make 2K. To go and stand this for 8 hours. Maybe I was lazy. I was in uni. I was trying to enjoy my uni life. But you guys worked.
Yeah, we worked.
Me, I never
I
worked.
tasted money early.
Yeah.
And I wish,
nice
which is
money.
a challenge that I faced. I wish I had financial literacy. Guys, I know I've said this a lot, but
Yeah.
man, I feel like if I knew what I know
No,
now
Yeah.
about money.
But babe, you know it now, you don't know it at 50. There are people who are knowing at 50. They're like, hiya, you mean?
Yeah.
that's very true.
In this
Yeah.
Kenya.
Very, very true.
You know it and you're not even 35.
Yeah.
Can you just count your blessings? Okay. Yeah, you're still very early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You, Jules, what was your first
My
job?
first job, so we're not doing the internship, so saying out of uni, right? Out of uni, my first job was a route salesman for Coca-Cola, Nairobi Bottling Company.
Where yours was where Julia, yours was tough.
You tarmacked.
At Grogon, what was my route? Grogon,
Julia showed
River
me
Road.
Grogon. Like I knew Grogon
Because of you.
you.
And me, I'm just there like, oh my god, you guys, I'm from USA. Do you want to buy some soda? Let me tell you, I was out of place. And then I of course I go complain to my folks. I'm like, oh my god. My mom was like, all those big cars you're seeing in River Road, all those big cars you're seeing in River Road, what do you think they do? That is where the money is. You just need to get yourself hustle. I mean, like, put it, you know, my folks were just like not having it. Like, and usually, and my folks are usually very like, okay. When I started working, even my dad, who's really like a bit empathetic, he was just like, Sarah, that is life. And I'm like, you guys are trying to tell me you brought me into this world for this? Like this is what we're doing. Imagine, I was like, and I stayed. I didn't leave that job.
You really worked.
Until I got another job, but it was because of my folks.
Okay.
But and then finally they moved me to like Abuja. This guy, I think he just saw this kid is suffering. But and then now I was a route salesman for Kenyatta Avenue and it was Kenyatta Avenue and Mamangina. But now the problem is all these fucking bougie restaurants over there, they never used to stock their fridges. And when you go and tell them to stock, they're just like, we'll stock when we are ready.
So
because they don't need the fridge.
Yeah.
Because the fridge is one that comes with the company and that's you're supposed to merchandise. It's supposed to be fully stocked. But uko downtown, the fridge is always the fridge will always be stocked. But what I Dania, you know, but
lunch.
But when you come and say, Aki, please, you need to buy one extra case of Coke. Madam, they'll buy. But then you know, when your boss comes, they're like, why is this fridge? Why does it have Dania? So I'm like, which struggle do you want? The one for Dania or the one for they'll never put other juices and things in the fridge, but they buy when they want. They kind of just don't care. And the vibe was so, I'm telling you, that was hard knock. That was too hard knock for me.
That was hard knock.
And I was earning 16,000 shillings for that whole 8 to 10 months. And we didn't have an office. Your office is the distributor. Like,
the containers we see, we distribute Coca-Cola.
That's where you go. You check your stock, opening stock, everything. Anyway, I did all that stuff.
So I was giving a challenge that I
Yes. Yeah. Oh, yes.
I think I gave it financial literacy. It was the first
one.
Oh, that was actually expounded, but I think
something
it's self-explanatory. I just wish. But what did I wish? You know, I wish someone told me this
what
insurance.
Did you wish?
Let me tell you. I wish someone told me this insurance person who comes to sell insurance, ask them what else they sell. They sell investments. They sell so many things. But I picked insurance because it's the only thing my mom told me to pick, or my dad. I wish someone told me this salary you get, and you don't save all of it in the, because I used to be a saver, still am, but I used to save a lot of my salary in the bank. It does nothing for you sitting there. I wish I knew. I had been very far. So that for me, I think was a challenge. And why it's a challenge, especially in terms of career growth, you get comfortable thinking the money that you're making is a lot. You're not growing it, so you don't get used to the fact that okay, I can do better for myself. So you're stuck clutching onto this salary, and then you save that 2,000 bob. You guys have had that thing for these 3 types of millionaires. There's millionaires who invest, executives, and the people who save. People who save like in banks take the longest amount of time to accrue money. I just wish I knew. And I've gone to the next interview.
I need to
know better. And I've been like, no.
Will you teach me how
with
to
my emergency fund and whatever, I need this salary.
But in not in your defense, but just to make you feel a little better. I think it's now the information that's out there now. There's a lot, even like after 10 years after you, I still feel like that information was not out there. Right now is when we're learning about MMF. Right now is when banks are or rather money lending companies are working hard to make sure that people have options to grow their money. This information wasn't really there.
I feel like it's because we did marketing. I don't know. I think if we did finance, we'd have known this information.
But why do we need to know finance? This is a life skill.
That's
true.
Okay. Honestly, that's true.
This is a life skill. Everyone needs to know how to manage their funds.
Anyone who's earning. So
Anyone.
there's something that was missing.
And we have internet now.
Yeah, that's true.
Now we can do our own
we have
research
so much
very
information
easily.
on our phone.
Yeah, that's my challenge, my biggest one.
Okay. My first challenge, I think, is CV writing, resume writing. I know even in school we are taught this is how to write a CV. But how many times, I don't know if you guys experienced this, you had to, there's so many different ways of writing CVs. There's the long, have it detailed. And then this one comes and says, your CV must not pass 1 page. And then when I went for this interview, they told me, oh, you only have 1 page. How much experience have you had? So I'm just like, do you guys want detailed? Do you want not want detailed resumes? Even online and stuff. Like the information is so conflicting. And then now when I went to England, I remember there was a CV writing course for like the undergrad. I was like, I'm going for that course.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like a seminar.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we went there, and they were able to show me how to shrink my CV to a page and a half ish. But when I came back here, I had to change it again.
Yes.
To a
Too
curriculum
long.
vitae.
to the long
No,
one.
even the UK
Or
is
to the
still
one
CV.
pager.
I had to add more details.
Okay.
So, for example, now I was talking to one of my mentors,
Yeah.
and she was like, you need to add achievements, because she looked at my LinkedIn, and she's like, okay, you did this and this between this year. Over there, I have a section that says achievements.
Yeah.
What did you do in this role that you can say was an achievement?
Yes,
So I had to now adding. So now she comes and gives me this advice. So sometimes I'm just like, so I have two CVs in my machine. I have detailed CV
And one pager.
and the short one.
Okay.
So depending on, and then I put the cover letter separately. If I can tell this is somebody who will not open my CV, I'll put the cover letter in the body of the email. But then other times I'm like, these ones, they look like they are getting too many CVs. I'll put the cover letter in the first page of the CV.
Yeah.
You know, so they're just little things that I wish I knew. Especially that thing for achievements, that was the biggest thing. I was like, oh, that's actually very important. And this is somebody who works in a very big company. You know, so for her to give me this advice, and she went through it line by line. Anyway, all I'm saying is there's so much conflicting information about CVs. I don't even think the people who in HR can give you one way. Even them, they act like you need to know how to write a CV. But then they don't say anything. There's no standard. So it's they're coming from a point of they're the gatekeepers, but they're not helping us. As if, because if you say you should have learned in school, fine. If I go and write the CV there I was taught in my university, my friend, my CV would be 4 pages.
And even and I think even when it comes to HR, there's also a bit of personal preference.
Right.
Because I've gone for an interview with a one pager where nothing much was said. I've gone for an interview where the HR lady was like, oh, I haven't seen a CV like this before. I think this is nice. This is how people should be writing.
Right.
You know, just out of.
And she said how people should be writing. So what do you want?
Exactly.
Like, I wish if they're asking for, when you're needing, at some point they should say, give us detail. I don't know. They
or
should
your CV should have this.
Yes.
You're applying for
Yes.
Make sure you include work experience.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it's an open secret. What is in a CV? What is background?
And then the
you know.
trees that have been murdered, people printing
Wow.
CVs.
Wow. Wow.
Why did we have to print a physical CV? Like,
Because we had floppy
send it
disks.
to our email,
Tulikuwa tuna floppy
and
disk.
it was so crazy. We spent so much money in the cyber.
Yeah.
And even back then, you're told to print on a yellow paper to stand out.
Yeah, or put a border.
Yeah,
Or
put a border.
border.
Yeah, it was so strange.
Yeah.
It was so strange.
And even back to, you know, this, I think this long CV thing is also maybe a Kenyan thing. I remember when I worked at Scanad, and whenever we would do RFPs or tenders, there was a specific CV that we would always put in for one of the Wadosis because her CV was 11 pages long. Let me tell you, you would flip through that thing, flip, because it made it look like she's done so much. She has so much experience. Because I remember looking at it and I was like, wow, hey, she's done a lot. My CV is only 3 pages. What have I done? So I remember that being glorified. The number of pages shows, at that time it shows how much, yes. When it's short, it's like you haven't really gone
But
through
my
stuff.
dad's CV was like, my dad, there's one time I don't know how, I'm sorry dad, but like I was using his laptop, then I saw breast, I was like, what? And then I opened his CV, it's so beautiful, like dad.
No.
But it's brief. It's like this year to this year, I did this. And even him, he had that achievement.
Yes.
And then the career he was in, every year there was a promotion. So it's long because it was 81 to 82 or
It was
82
this
to 84.
post.
It was this. And I'm just like, okay. But it was brief.
Wow.
But it was brief. Like
they
they didn't have those details of what were the roles. And you have 5 bullet
Start
points.
saying, I used to do
Because now my
this,
short
do
CV,
that.
it just says what I did, and an achievement, but it doesn't say the duties of the title of the job
even
I
they
was
removed
in.
that.
But mine is still there now.
Okay.
Because now on LinkedIn, that's what if you look, because you see sometimes when you're applying for jobs, they say use your LinkedIn.
Yes.
And the LinkedIn, it has those spaces that details
What
of
exactly
your,
you did.
so that, you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, can we go to the next one?
Yes, please.
I think that's me.
Yeah.
I remember at my first job, I wish I knew how to to negotiate for my salary.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The very first time I had an opportunity for a pay rise, I sat in that office and I remember saying, I work so much, I do this, I do that. And then the guy that I was defending myself to, that was the first time I ever saw being bullshitted. Yeah, I came to learn about it a bit more at the agency we all worked at. Yeah, like I didn't know how somebody can talk around, because I left that office an hour later with the same salary, and I wasn't sad. I was okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I felt convinced.
You're played.
Yeah, I was played. But later on, now on talking to people, I think I started being told, no, you need to bring out this is what you can bring to the company. You intend on staying for long, you know, to grow and what. But in that first session, I remember being so frazzled and saying, yeah, okay, yeah. Yes, you're right. And I walked out with my same 37,500. I don't know why I was being paid 37,500, but that was my salary. And I left feeling like I have other opportunities to make money in the company. But I deserved that pay rise. I just didn't know how to defend myself.
Just to add on that, how to do a P4G or performance for growth for your salary to be added.
Yes.
Why, like, that should be a course and entirely on its own. Because as in
some of them are so detailed.
And they're so detailed and you have no idea how to answer. Half the time you copy someone's.
Yes.
You copy someone's, like, give me, I write the correct attributes.
What appraisals?
Yeah, it's an appraisal essentially. Performance for growth.
By the way, when you go and ask for a salary
detailed.
rise, when you go and ask, can I be increased for money? You have to show the value that you have brought to that role or to the company, or the achievements you've done for you to get that pay raise. I think some people just say, I think I've done so much.
I've worked here for 2 years.
2 years.
I deserve a
pay raise.
I've worked with people like that, and I struggle with such conversations when someone is like, but I've been here for 3 years,
so what does
I
that
need more
mean?
money. So I'm just like, but what have you done though?
And also, so that means when you get into a job, and I don't want to get into detail of how to do it, because that's a whole other conversation. Actually, that can be a conversation we can have. Is that you need to know what your roles are, what's your JD, what are your performance indicators, so that when you come back and say, I have achieved this. Some people just go and work and they don't know, they just have a job description, but my first and second job just had job descriptions. But they need to have this to be an area that says, this is what we use to measure your performance. So that when you're going to negotiate for whatever you're going to negotiate for, I want better health insurance, I want better pay, and you say, I have been able to achieve this, and this.
Yeah, and that's even part of the negotiation, not just asking for money. I don't think we know how to maybe ask for a better package. For your health insurance, or my pension and things, you know. Yeah.
Even leave days can be negotiated.
Yes.
Oh, really? Like to get more? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
See, we don't know. It's a secret. It's like secrets, but not secrets.
Your friend has to tell you.
Somebody has to tell you. It's like, what the fuck are we doing, y'all? All right. Does somebody else have a point?
For that one, yeah. But it goes back to a challenge, because I think one of the reasons I was not able to also do proper salary negotiation is because I had no idea what our job bracket was paying.
Oh my goodness, that is so true.
Okay, so I saw this also on your Money Mondays, where somebody was like, you also need to know what that industry, like that level.
Because you Google, and I used to Google account manager, and you get the numbers of Maju, but Maju, they're paid a lot more.
Yes, so much more.
The job that I was going for, which was account exec, because me I wanted to start from the bottom. As much as I had already had like years of experience in Kenya, I wanted to start from the bottom because it was a new market. I didn't know. You know, marketing is a very like geographical.
Yes, it is.
Especially if you're coming from a third world, whatever they call us, developing countries. I don't give a fuck. They're Kenya. They were giving the lowest was 2,100 pounds.
So I had no clue how much whatever it is we're doing.
Yeah.
So that's why anyway, that's why we were conned over our salaries and were used.
And you'd even find, like I found at one of my jobs, you see the way we are sitting here, we all had the same role, but our salaries, the time salaries were sent to me by mistake for the whole team. So I was like, this, So I saw that between everyone who was an account manager within the same team, the salary differences was like a whole 100K between people.
What the fuck?
Yes.
Same job,
same title.
That's how
same deliverables. Yeah.
You are what you negotiate.
Exactly. So now for people like someone like me who had just come into the AM role, I was uko down. The ones who had been account managing for a while were, I'm telling you, 100K more. Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
And you see, I didn't know how to jitetea like that.
That
Yeah.
100K was so much money.
Yeah,
That's all I used to
more,
see.
babe. Even,
That's
yeah,
all I
you
used to
just
see.
you just want to get to 100.
I want 100.
Six
Okay,
figures.
I was asked.
Six-figure salary.
Babe, exactly. I wanted a 6-figure because it's what you hear in the
Yeah,
She has a
we didn't know that about dollars.
Yeah, 6 figures dollars is a whole other thing. All right. Another one is role models, mentors, and or lack of mentors.
Leadership.
Mentorship. So for me, mine is not necessarily I didn't have role models in marketing, fine, because I didn't even know I didn't know what marketing was.
Yeah.
Yes, I did a degree in it. I knew the 4 P's of marketing. I knew it was you know. But then you get into a job and you're like, what? What is a proposal? We're proposing what? Imagine I didn't know.
No.
I was shocked.
Yeah.
And it's like, did you know? Anyway, there's just things that are basic in marketing that I did not know. And in the industry that I was going into, I didn't know anyone. I didn't have role models. The people there's 2 ladies who became my mentors, and thank God they're still my friends, even though I'm no longer in that industry. I met them on the job, okay? But then I just didn't understand what they were doing. I didn't know.
You didn't know what the job
I'm
was.
like, what is a okay? You're managing the brand. What does this mean? What does this really mean? I wish somebody in school told me companies have general terms such as brand manager, such as marketing manager, terms such as proposal, also, or how do you go from one deliver? How do you deliver one thing beginning to end? What's the value chain of this thing from the manufacturer to the consumer? I think those things, maybe they were in the books, but I don't remember.
Organizational structure.
Like we just used to learn some stuff to memorize.
Yeah.
Memorize what is this? What is the 4 P's? What is production, price, promotion, price? I don't know. And it's like, that's marketing. But then in the office, you don't really know how it's applied.
Yeah.
And then in terms of what I mean by role models, okay, so in general, I've always said that marketing was never my first choice. I just did it because my father told me, this is a career for you. Then I asked him, what is marketing?
Yeah.
And he said, you see the people who make these billboards?
Yeah.
Those are marketers.
ones.
And I said, perfect. Because it has creativity. I can create the billboard. I thought I'll create the concept behind advertising campaigns. Because I was constantly talking shit about our ads in the house, even with my folks there. I'm just like, why is this guy? How comes he has that?
It's so fake.
Ooh, it's so fake. It's so. I was like, it was me. So my dad was like, you need to do this thing.
Yeah.
Then I get to the job and I'm like, actually,
That's
there's another
not
guy
what
called
I'm
the
doing.
agency
Yes.
that does that.
Yes.
And also the agency is because thankfully my first big job was client.
Was corporate.
Corporate.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's where I'm supposed to be, but everyone's trying to get to here.
Yeah.
So let me stay here.
Yeah.
But there was like zero job satisfaction, zero. Me, I'm telling you, I had no role models in marketing in general. I didn't know what I was doing. And then now, because on my creative side in general, like these other things, like when I said role models, I meant in marketing and also, for example, things that I'm passionate about now, producing. So doing production for shows. I didn't even know things like that. Those roles exist.
Yes. Yeah.
If I knew, I'd have had a completely different career path. I feel, and I talked about this on It's Related. I promise it's an episode we did there about like just the disillusionment about life when you start working.
Yes.
And that was my biggest thing. I'm like, if I knew to be a TV anchor, you do journalism.
Yes.
I would have done it. Me, I thought journalism are the people who write in newspapers and they write things I can't comprehend. They write about Uhuru, they write about Jomo Kenyatta, they write about Raila. I thought that was just journalism is. I didn't know journalism. I didn't know Jack, man.
Yeah.
So if I knew, you're saying about the money thing. Me, I'm telling you, if I knew what I knew about career, first of all, I had done a completely different degree. I'd probably done something in film, in production, something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely, babe.
So
Gosh.
that's what I mean about role models. I wish I had some. But I just have to accept my life is going like this for the way it's supposed to be this way.
Yeah, I guess I would say because of how we have been brought up till now, I don't see the point of a mentor. I don't feel I understand it. I'm like, why do I need one? I mean, if I need to find out something, I can go to the internet. I can read people's stories, there's talks. I don't feel why I need a physical human being to be my mentor. Like, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it's because of how we were brought up, but I'm still at that place where I'm like,
I feel like
so mentors and role models, I think, are different, right? Yeah. So mentors, maybe Ivy can talk about that. But when I mean role models, you know what that is. But I'm just going to demystify what I mean, what it means to me. It's me as a young girl seeing somebody else doing something I would be interested in, and me seeing that I can be in their shoes. I did not have that. I didn't have that. You know, I like things like film. I like acting. I like drama. I don't. It's like me, the role models I saw are guys of your Makamani, and no shame to them, but like you see,
there was no Lupita Nyong'o.
there was nothing like that, you know. And you see, when you tell your parents what you have to show your parents that the school they have taken you to, there's ROI on their investment. You understand?
Yeah.
And then also I didn't fail exams, so I had to also do a degree that matched my grade. You know, me I was being pushed over into medicine, and I'm just like, why? Why?
Yeah.
And this mentor of mine now here, this mentorship bit. Actually, we had a chat with her 2 days ago, and I was like, hey, but if you man up, you know, you have to add me, you have to get me a role in your team. She's like, you're not coming back to employment, Julia. Me, I've told you from the first time you worked under me. She was like, you're good at what you do, but this is not you, because you used to talk about other things. And she's like, you're not coming back. You're not coming back. You have to make this shit work.
Yeah.
You know, and I was like, no, don't leave me. She's like, Z, make it work. You're already here. Do it. This is where you were supposed to be. She's the one who was telling me about creative agencies. I didn't know when I joined that company I first worked for. I was like, what? Yeah.
Lorna, I feel like a mentor is someone you appreciate once you have them. For this one, even I didn't know the essence and beauty of a mentor until I found the perfect mentor for me. I mean, if you spoke to me 3 years before this last job that I left, I would have told you the same thing. What's a mentor for? What's really a mentor for? But having someone older than you who's gone through the same experiences you're going through, because this is a mentor for me is someone you work with and you are within the same vicinity. At least you have to be close. You have to be seeing each other at least often for them to mentor you in that career path and that type of thing. She mentors me on career. She mentors me on life in general, because she's an older woman. She's had relationships. She has children. So the conversations we have go way beyond
the career,
a proposal and things that I never would have thought about. So right now that I know I have a mentor and I can call her any day, tell her, please, let's have breakfast. Like even when I'm thinking about my content, I appreciate one so much.
Yes, and I want to just help you expand on that a bit. With mentorship, it can be about career, but you see, other aspects of your life affect your career. Your personal life affects your career. Your spending habits, you know, little things. With going to the internet, you're looking for an answer. But having a chat with a mentor, how are you doing? And then you say something like, you know, actually, I wish da. And then she'll be like, you know, you need to negotiate for. Think this, and this. She'll tell you things that you can't think of looking for on the internet on your own.
You didn't know you're looking.
You didn't even know you're looking for. She'll give you solutions. She'll be like, you know, maybe you need to start sleeping better because it will help your performance. You know, just something. There's like an insight you'll get. And then I think the combination for me, my mentors are very, we talk about personal life as well as professional life.
Because it goes hand in hand.
For me as Julia, if I'm not okay in my personal life, like we have beef at home, my parents are not okay, my brother is not okay, it messes my whole ecosystem.
Can I add something on mentorship? My struggle is a different one from Lorna's. It's not really that I don't see the value of one. But in my mind, just based on even talking to people and the way they talk about their mentors, it needs to be someone that you connect with on a personal level. In all of my life, in all of my career, I have never met any such person.
What?
None.
Tana, you there? Everyone
Loves you.
There's no person that I can tell you I have worked with that I feel could mentor me, and I also want to talk about work and my personal life with. I have never met such a person in all my 30-something years. So for me, my struggle is mentorship is that there's nobody I have ever connected with on such a level, and I don't know how to actually go out there, like to be thinking about people, is this my mentor? Could this be my mentor? So for me, I think that's why it's not something that I look for, because why in all these jobs and all these years and all these people have spoken to, like there's no one who I feel will get me enough to that I want to talk to and open up to.
I think that's it as well for me. And then also the ones who have been almost like this person could mentor me, it's been the opposite sex, and I've been like, okay, this is just gonna be
feel like
either people will think we are doing something or it sounds like I just never pursued that. And then the people who I want to be my mentors are people that I don't know, like they don't know me like that. I'd have to start the relationship you know.
Even that,
And I'm
I
just
can't
like,
tell you one
Too
person.
much work.
Yeah, for me, I didn't look for. I know people who actually seek.
Yes, there are
mentors.
people who seek
I want you to be
mentorship.
my mentor. People even ask me, and I'm sorry if I've
Even me,
never
I'm asked,
replied.
and
I'm
I'm
not
like,
ready to be a mentor to anybody.
Even me, I've been
when you
asked and I
email
know I
me,
cannot.
How can I be
Yeah.
a mentor?
Yeah, I
don't
can't.
even
I still need to
myself.
figure my shit
I
out.
was there, I won't do it for free.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it is.
Oh, you have to be paid.
And it takes. It takes. You know.
I think it does take
if
like
you're at
another
Jobo,
child.
you're mentoring me because I'm adding value to your company.
Yeah.
No, you from wherever you are. It takes.
Yeah.
It takes.
Even me, I can see how it can take.
It really takes.
All right. So another thing that we wanted to discuss today is some challenges when starting our jobs. Sexual harassment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I know I was sexually harassed. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was sexual harassment because it was subtle. It wasn't like somebody putting his hand up my skirt kind of thing. Well, that is up for discussion.
Yeah.
Because you guys know.
Yeah. We know what you're
Fucked
talking
up.
about.
It was crazy, and it was like different men. And what's crazy is that my dad, when I started my job, he knew a guy or two in this company I was going to work for because of the industry, you know, manufacturing. And he told me, oh, actually, I think these are guys who he knew from high school, like the school they were in, Alliance. Anyway, my dad, we never talk about boys. Like, please, it is impossible. It is, if you see us talking about boys, somebody has bewitched our relationship. And dad, you know, there's this guy I like, what? So my dad, the one time he just told me, but then, this guy. So actually, the guy he was warning me about is the guy who helped me get the job, because this guy they joined with my dad from high school, and I guess when you're so mad, they're both engineers, so I think they just know each other.
Yeah.
Anyway, so when I told my dad this, my dad helped me get this first outside the internship. He helped me get this other job. Long short, my dad is like, with this guy, if he ever calls you for a drink after work, to just say yes, but then call me, and then we'll figure it out. I was frozen to immobility when he said. I was like, yes, okay. Why are we discussing this? And this is a guy who is like, and then now when I worked in that company after a while, now I started hearing rumors about like scandals he had, which I guess people know about.
Yeah.
So probably that's why my dad was like, such and such. And then in the same company, another guy who used to pretend he's a pastor, just sexually harassing me every day and forcing me to enter his car to go home with him, and what the hell. Then I told my dad that story. He's like, okay, you can use the car. There was like a spare car in the house. I was given the car. I used to jab. I used to jab. And I didn't know my dad can to car like that. But he's like, okay, you're using the car.
Just have a car.
Because you know the guy used to time me when I'm walking from the office to the stage. Then now he'll come.
Then of course you're
Not
like,
even the one you know. This is another one.
Oh my I wonder he's not a pastor.
No. This is a guy who used to be like a pastor. Me, I didn't know he was a pastor. So now when I told now my mentor in the office, I was like, hey, meet this guy. And I was saying it as a joke. Because I'm like, the work life has feces. In my mind, I just thought, the environment of work, the working environment, corporate environment has a lot of, because I come from uni. We hang out with boys and we drink with them, we have fun. But here, it's like even being in a lift with another guy, it's like, hey, hi, Sasa, you look nice.
Yeah. And you
what's this energy in like the corporate environment?
That was really normalized. I don't understand.
It's normalized. Let me
I
tell
don't
you guys.
understand.
Yeah.
No, I'm done. But anyway, I just feel like even all other companies I've worked for, there's always this like nuances of men can say things about women, like when they're passing, if you're wearing a skirt that's tight, like na leo unatua, you know, things like that.
Like a drink.
Exactly. Men can say such things, and if a girl says, why are you talking to me like that? Now you're like labeled as bitchy, or like we don't hang out with her. You can't even make friends in the office. Like you have to accept to be like sexually harassed.
So you're not approved.
You even lose your job.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are people who lose their jobs
Or refusing advances. It's crazy.
So that is a big thing. I think it's a huge thing in corporate culture in Kenya, and more so in government, like the parastatals, you know, just these gov offices. I feel like there it's so much. ask me, I've worked in the private sector for so long, but and it's still there. But once in a while, when you get those government offices, you're just like, oh my God. First of all, the eyes, no.
Kwanza as a intern, you're the young fresh meat that's entered the office. My God, the harassment is
it's so bad.
Yeah.
And then even the women, they look at you like you're the whore. You get like you're the loose one. Like I remember when I used to do internship, government, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Like literally, our blouses, you see, like the way she calls blouses like this. Some women used to tell us, can you cover up why you dress so loosely?
You're joking.
It's literally, of course you're in official because you're in a government, as in literally, as in there's no even cleavage, it's just like 2 millimeters of cleavage.
Are you serious?
And you're like, what the hell is your problem?
to
So I
be like
think
that?
those women, first of all, normalize sexual harassment because, like,
They say it's
I
because of
think
your, it's like they're
someone
saying it's
should-
because of your
as
dress.
it's because of your dress.
Yes.
Come on.
Why can't you tell the men? Can you stop?
Yeah,
talking
why
to
can't you
women
talk
like
to
that?
them? Why
Stop
can't you
it.
tell the man? It's
Yeah.
so mad.
Can you imagine if we were those? We started
They're
being
just
like,
there,
oh, your
18.
eggplant is looking nice. That's
Yeah.
bad. Me, I'm telling you, there'd be so many changes.
Yeah.
If women decide to flip the script,
Yeah.
there'd be changes in weeks.
That's why there are videos of women pretending to catcall. There's even times, like even just today, I was just playing with Shiv and I was like just trying to spank him. I was asking him, how does it feel? How does it feel?
Yeah.
Someone just always coming into your
Yeah.
You're like, yes, this is so weird.
It's so weird.
Yeah, but those are normal things for babes.
Yeah, so young girls, just be aware that's the situation. I think go and educate yourself about sexual harassment.
Yeah.
There's so much nowadays. There's a lot of resources online, so you can understand what sexual harassment is. Then try and figure out what your options are. And I think just to warn you, it's a very delicate matter because just keep that in mind.
And companies that have over 20 people within the contract is supposed to be, it's mandatory by law for the contract to have a clause for sexual harassment.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. If the company has 20 people plus, they must put it in the contract that if this happens to you, this is what you can do.
I don't even think
So
I've
why
ever
change
seen
it
one
to that?
contract.
Why 20?
I don't know, understand the law. Imagine I
Because when people are 19, you can't be sexual.
but I believe it's that. Yeah, there's an episode for Legally Speaking. We spoke about it. Wrongful termination, sexual. I can't remember, but and even companies are supposed to teach and tell you this is wrong. Do this, like that. Shikie.
That's crazy. The struggle with sexual harassment, I think, is some of these. It's even another. I think there's another. I don't know if it's another point I wrote down, but the struggle is like, for example, my experience with being sexually harassed was from my bosses.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's always your bosses.
It was my bosses.
Your immediate bosses.
And it happened, and they were the directors of the company. We had no HR, and it happened with both my bosses.
Yeah.
So who do I go to?
Oh God.
Like, who do you go to? And then the other issue is it was a job where it was an agency job where we would have a lot of night activations. So sometimes, you're dropped home.
Yep.
And I remember this guy like leaning in, and I
I'm
was just
sorry,
like,
is this the same guy who also
it's the
sexually
same.
harassed
We
you?
were sexually
I didn't know you
harassed
were
by the same
you
man.
tell me about
I was
it.
also
When
sexually
did you tell
harassed by
me?
this guy. We need to have a session after
What?
this. I'm sure I've told you at some
Maybe you
point
did tell me he was
somewhere.
sexually
Notorious
harassing.
harasser.
Sexually
Oh my
harassed me.
God.
Like he took me for drinks after a meeting. Like, let's go and kula lunch.
Yep.
Then of course there were shots. And then I was dropped home, and I remember I was just about to check, and I remember this, and I was like, I was like, you can't do that. I remember telling him you can't do that. And he was just like, hey, bana, sorry, hey, you know how the guy talks.
Oh,
Yep.
He was
my
like,
God.
ati, acha hizo shit.
Nyinyi hamkuni
nini,
show.
nini,
Actually,
nini.
you were sexually harassed.
Oh yeah, takes you
Yeah.
for drinks.
Why did you guys tell me?
He grabbed my ass.
The other one is the one who grabbed my
Yeah,
ass.
he grabbed my ass. Because we're somewhere drinking
Yeah.
their shots. Hey, we finished an activation. We sold. Oh, we've sold so much. Good. Then he grabs my ass, and I have no way of going home. I just say, just take it.
Imagine you have to be taken home.
I don't want this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you see me, I didn't know it was sexual harassment. Me, I just thought this
Yeah.
guy is such a fissy.
Ati, this
Ah,
man.
this guy, he's just know
Yeah,
he
ati,
likes
he's
to.
a married guy.
He can get you drunk and
Yeah.
try to, like, let me tell you, me, I think the kind of guy who can put things in your drink. Like, he'll get you drunk, then he'll tell you, let's go discuss. In fact, he will tell you, let's go discuss this and this, because my stuff had to be signed by him. Then he will go somewhere on the other side of town. You don't have a car, you
Can't
drive.
go anywhere.
So
There was
at
no
least
Uber.
There was no Uber those days.
There was no Uber, by the way.
There was no Uber, and cabs were like 2K from here to there.
Yes.
Mhm. Anyway,
Yeah.
that's the thing. You also need to know and not put yourself in. I don't want to put the really on women, but I think sometimes we don't know because these men. For me, it wasn't like grabbing the ass or whatever. It was like, let's go discuss this. And then it becomes from food to, let me buy you a drink. And then that keeps happening. And you're like, I don't want to be in this thing.
Yeah.
And then you can't say no.
uncomfortable.
I'm like, how do you say, let's have this meeting in the office?
Yeah.
It's really hard to say no.
And not at Bacchus on a Friday evening. Because there's always Bacchus, queues. Like imagine you're going from the office to go discuss official things
in a
bar. And me, I was like, okay, I see other women here who look professional. So maybe
Yes.
they're also in meetings.
Yeah.
Like when you are young, when you're a child, you don't even know.
And the point I was getting at is now such a situation where who do you go to? Because I'm telling you, it happened with both the bosses. We didn't have HR. So you can't go and stucky one guy to the other
And then on
guy.
Monday you're there, good morning.
Imagine.
I can't.
So I think it was just one of those things. You just brush off and you move on and you say, such a disgusting guy.
Yeah.
And then you go tomorrow and you're like, morning.
But at least you stood your ground. We both did.
Yes.
Yeah.
That
yes,
is the
refused.
first step, especially if you have no HR. Just refuse.
Yeah.
Don't be forced into anything you don't feel like doing.
Yeah. And
if you
call
come
them
out
out.
for your career, man, you'll regret it. You might.
And those who are
You
forced,
might.
that's now even rape.
Yeah, there's some who are
Because
forced.
there's some who are forced.
Yeah.
Everything we've talked about here today, guys,
Yeah.
let's take time and even if it means
And
bringing
go
a
into
professional
it.
on board and just
Yeah.
breaking it down. Final one. I think this is the final one, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Other females putting you down in the workplace
Yeah.
and you thinking that they'll support you.
Yeah.
Something you probably didn't know.
Yeah.
I will just say, just from my experience going in the work life or work world, like you go into work thinking there's a certain sisterhood, just by the mere fact of someone who's in a higher position, being a woman, that they will help you when there's a problem. But for me, I remember there's a time I had an issue and I went to them and they were like, how do you think I got here? Was it by complaining about, as in, I was just shocked, first of all. I was like,
She refused to help you.
she refused to help me. She said, figure out how some of us, we were not always crying when something small happens to us. And I was like, hey, Yani, this is how females are. Like, from that day, I was like, you know what, I just thought to
Just do your thing.
just do my thing. And it's just sad that hakuna yo sisterhood or woman.
Yeah.
Is it womanhood?
Some companies do have that because I've worked in an environment where I feel like I don't think like women were. No, this was even different, but like friendship, like because you work with people so closely in this industry,
Yes.
you're doing late nights, you're doing
Yes.
activations, then you become friends with these people. There's this particular company I worked in, and I just realized all these people are just. They say that you can't make friends from work. I think there's true and false to that. I've made some very good
Even
friends. This
me.
mentor of mine, I think she's one of my really close friends.
Yeah.
And even just in general, these friends you make. But then there are people, like the workplace
Yeah.
is one of those places. Sometimes you don't even go telling people who you know, what you just keep quiet.
Yeah.
Toxic spaces.
You can have
Can be
very
used
toxic.
against
In
you.
fact, that's something. Toxic work environments. What does a healthy work environment look like? And what does a toxic work environment look like?
Yeah.
Those are things that need to be discussed because people don't know
Yeah.
like the support they need to be getting from
Yeah.
their employer.
You don't even know that there's a toxic work environment.
There's
Yeah.
something
You just know
This
you're going
is
to
work.
an office.
This
but
is how work
yeah,
is.
you're young. You don't know. People are just different. People are different. They have different problems. People are different.
Especially being a young girl in a company. I remember even for me, while I was saying I think we should discuss this one, is because I remember at my first job, even me, the lady who had interviewed me, she was very cordial to me and whatever, but I would still see, there's some looks she would give, the one for, you're still young and limber and whatever, you still have your whole life ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I remember that used to be in my mind even as I was dressing up, because it's like I used to dress in a way that
You're thinking
I
about
didn't
her
want
look.
to, yeah.
You don't want to upset her.
I didn't want
tip
to,
her off.
exactly. I didn't want her
Yeah.
to look at me too much. Because I remember there's once we were supposed to go now for our first event, first big event while I was at that company. And I went to work as usual, what, and she looked at me and she asked me, are you going home to change? So I asked, I need to change. She said, this is a, I think, I don't know what word she used, but this is a, I guess, high level event or whatever. And she was looking at me like this. And imagine, I had to call home, I had to call my aunties and tell them that they had to bring me a dress to where the event was, the event venue. And then I changed, I think I found a bathroom to change quickly because I was so uncomfortable. and I didn't look bad. And that event wasn't even that bougie.
Yeah.
And even her the way she dressed.
What was the difference?
She was
Yeah.
jealous. Let me
That's
tell you
jealous.
something. That's
That's
just
jealousy.
jealousy.
Yeah, and after that, I just remember being very uncomfortable and very aware.
Yeah.
And I never used to talk about my personal life at that particular company. So I learned friendship. You see the friendship you're talking about, I learned it after, I think,
Yeah.
two, 3 jobs when I realized, you can actually make friends.
in the office.
Because
Like
there I
your
was the
friend.
only young person.
Yeah.
They were all much older ladies, and I just didn't want to whatever them.
Yeah.
Give them a
Senior
reason
them.
to.
You
Yeah, I
don't
didn't want
let
to give them a
it
reason. Yeah, and I didn't want to give them a reason. Yeah.
And you see, when you're young and it's your first job,
Yeah.
you don't know. You can say, and this is how, like, you know, when you're young, you're like, well, let me go get the dress.
Yeah.
And you panic. Me,
I
now
know
you
you
tell
can
me,
say,
are
yeah,
you
right
changing?
now I'd be
I'll be
like,
like,
no,
no, this is how I've come.
I think I'm good
I
the
think
way
I'm
I am.
okay. Yeah.
Let me right
Are
now
you
tell you,
decent?
I'm
No.
easy.
Yeah.
But then I would, I
You're
was
so
stressed.
scared.
I remember even asking, what dress do you think I should wear? Yeah, bring me the grey one. I even remember the outfit. I changed my hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen both sides of the coin. Horrible women
Yes.
and
Great
beautiful
women.
Yeah.
So-
Even you've experienced horrible.
Yeah, I've experienced the worst
Yeah.
kind of
Me, I think
woman.
if you're hot, some women will just be mean to you.
Not for anything that you've done.
Or if you're confident, let me not say hot. We're all hot. Okay?
Yes, if
but
you're
what I mean is, if
confident.
you have a bravado about you, have a charmingness about you that they
Like you
don't
know
have,
yourself.
that they don't have, and they don't expect somebody who is beneath them to have, because they want to. It's a power thing. Then
It's
they
a
put
power
you
thing.
down. Then they put you down. I mean, you're getting attention from the male people in the office.
Yeah.
You know,
That's also another
there's a
one.
new painting that has come.
Yes. Yeah.
It's weird. It's like high school.
It's like high school all over again.
All right, guys. We've come to the end of this episode. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it to the end and you've enjoyed this episode, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please remember to drink responsibly. Learn how to hydrate as you're drinking your alcohol. And remember to take the Drink IQ test. A lot of you did it. Some of you haven't. Please go and take it. It will just give you a measure of what you know about alcohol, because you think you know, but you really don't. It's a test that can take you maybe at most 2-3 minutes.
Yeah, it's very quick and it's a good myth buster.
It's a good myth buster. Yeah, exactly. You ask you questions like, you know,
Yeah. If you drink coffee after a heavy night,
will it
and
make you feel? Will it cure your hangover?
Yes, will it
or
take
no?
your hangy away?
Oh,
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah.
it's just little simple questions that we think we know, but we don't know. And yeah, guys, remember to subscribe because we're to 100K.
We're
If you have
late,
any
we're
other
late.
We're actually
experiences,
late.
We were supposed
Yeah,
to
it's
be kind
April,
of
end
mad.
of
It's our
March.
fault. Yeah.
But then we
okay.
left.
we left
Yeah.
because we had bloody
COVID's
coronavirus.
fault. It's COVID. What am I saying?
Yeah, it's not our fault.
Pandemic, yeah.
But thank you for the support thus
Thank you.
far. If you
Thank
guys have
you.
any more things that you want to talk about in terms of what you wish you knew before joining the workplace, please leave a comment in the comment section and share this episode with all your networks. See you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
Over 25, subscribe.